just gonna restart, bro. No reason to be dying on level 2, bro.
So it's always okay to think of variables, but that's explicitly implying that there's a system working in the background. And the naming scheme, if you're wondering why, remember, pivots, those are corresponding to the indices with the leading entries. Those are the things we solve for. That's why sometimes fixed variable, it's kind of seems contradictory. It's a variable, but it's fixed. But the name helps you imply that those are the ones you solve for, and the free variables are the ones that you leave alone. They just are exist. Okay, so now I want to just state the general proposition just so I can explain what it looks like. Don't really remember the formula. I'm just going to write it down for reference. You're never going to use it. I just want to use it for teaching purposes to explain what does this mean in general, this type of decomposition. So what this says is, in general, if you have an echelon matrix A and you take an output B in Rm, and if you consider the linear system AX equals B, so it'll be explicitly over a sum of free indices. And remember the staggering, so xj, if you're in, you might use more or less of those entries. So the best we can say is that it just depends on what's in your expression B. You could be more precise, but that's good enough for us. As a convention here, in case you've never seen this before, if 3A is empty, or if the set of I greater than j is empty, meaning there's nothing to sum over, you interpret that sum as 0. And that's the case where we had the last one was just x4 is equal to 3. There was no variables present, it was just a specified constant that depended on our output. Yes?
Does that mean if the free set is empty, then you'll have a point solution each time?
Not always. No. Close though, yeah. Okay. So we'll see that. I'm getting to that distinction now. So that's the main thing. You can go expression looks like all the xj's will just be a specified number, meaning there's going to be one concrete solution. This theorem, though, does not tell you that every system has a solution. That's the part that's missing. You can always write down these relationships, that's fine, but there's still something else. We can write down everything. A free indice is just 2, our pivot is 1 and 3. And I could solve, as described in the theorem. So the system still has no solutions because we ignored row 3. System, but we're only working with echelon forms right now. So, if you have a matrix and it's augmented, and A has a 0 row, but when you augment it, you add something that's not 0 to the side of that, then there is no solution for that reason. Just like in the other one, you can't have all 0 coefficients that add up to a non-zero number. Not possible. But if you don't have a row like this, then there is no obstruction to your solution because we showed we can solve for the pivots in terms of the free. Every other equation can be satisfied. This is literally the only problem, is a row of A that doesn't have a pivot. So let me just finish the theorem. Well, whoops, I put ax equals b in the wrong spot. In the augmented matrix, then ax equals b is consistent. So the takeaway here okay. So echelon forms are really nice. The structure allows you to at least say conclusively. So this one, I mean, it doesn't have solutions, but we can say factually, yes, there are no solutions. Oh, sorry.
So here, 2 is
Column 1 here, there's a leading entry right here, 1. Column 3, there's this leading entry 1. If we were to consider not A, but the whole augmented matrix, then column 4.
yeah.
All right. So, what we finally want to get into, I know we spent most of today talking about echelon forms, is that we want to get to this idea where you can actually turn any matrix into an echelon form. And all I want to do today is just illustrate how that might be possible, and then we'll formalize it next time. So, this will be our goal next time, something to keep in mind. Okay. So if I'm thinking about, and we'll see, there is not one way to do this. So this is going to be very me focused because this is how I think about the problem. My goal is to get that stair-step pattern. And so I'm going to start at the leftmost and the topmost position here. Right now it's 0, but I see I do have leading entries in this column. So if I'm thinking about it, okay, x1's my first variable. If that's going to be a leading entry, because there's a leading entry in that column, I should put that at the top. I can't go in row 1 because I already have a leading entry there. So the highest I could possibly get is row 2, and both of those entries are fine. I can just use the existing 2 here, and we could try to do the same type of elimination trick. We'll
like say for example, in the third row, you can divide by negative.
Yes.
And then you can easily see that z equals, or
Yes.
a equals 1.
We're going to talk about those differences. This is just a starting point. Yeah, so this is not the simplest form, and it's not the best form if you actually want to solve a system, but this is our starting point. What we care about, you're doing row operations to even the output as well. So right here our output is 4, 1, 1, and I am manipulating the output as well. That comes right along with it. I don't...
So the vector, the second dimension of the vector is produced from 3 dimensions of like adjustments, right?
Yes, I see what you're saying now, yeah.
Yeah, so before it was 2 dimensions of adjustment because the rows were never changed, right? So, but like obviously like it's the same level of dimensions, the output, right? Because it's just changing the rows, but same with like we can't say that this is X, this is Y. Like we're just assuming all the dimensions are like the same.
No, it'll be the same X, Y, and Z order. That's the thing. That
to produce Y, you're using 3 dimensions of adjustments instead of 2. So wouldn't that be different?
you would think, but it's not. That's why we're going to justify this. This is the main reason why we need the justification, because you have a valid point with your manipulations that I'm using data from different coordinates to construct new ones. we finished rather early. Thankfully, you all had questions, but I was wondering why I finished so early. It's because I actually forgot to mention something yesterday. It's just a small thing, but I want to it'll help us review, make sure we really get... All right, let's pick up where we left off last time with this matrix. Was we're trying to be careful to do operations we can go back and forth so that we don't lose solutions. So we were using what we'll learn is called elimination in a combination with substitution. Remember, if I take an elementary matrix and multiply on the left, I can compute the multiplication by doing the row operation it describes to the matrix on the right. So, I can compute this multiplication all the way through, but I'm going to use the what we showed before. It says E is on the left. I can take -2 times row 3 of D and add it to row 2, and that's going to get me. So this would justify any of the elimination operations that you want to use. And then we'll talk about getting the most efficient form probably next time, because I want to do some actual examples with this. But the proof is fairly straightforward, just showing that you can go between these two. The key is that your elementary matrices are invertible.
Okay.
So for notation, I don't want to keep writing out all these E's, so I'm just going to combine them together. Big E without a subscript, this is not necessarily in S2. So that says our first solution set is a subset of S2. Now, to get the true equivalence, this is where A is equal to E inverse times B, and little b is equal to E inverse times D, with E inverse on the left. I can cancel out the E on the left. And we find out we haven't specifically talked about what the process is. I've kind of, we know what the end goal is. So right now your strategy is, I know what I need to get, and you're allowed to use any elementary operations to get there. We will talk about a sort of standard procedure, but as long as you're using elementary operations, this theorem above here tells you that I'm gonna do something a little different. I'm gonna swap row 1 with row 3 this time. I think I swapped row 1 and row 2 last time. Okay, so I have my pivot in the very first position.
What am I doing? Oh! Oh! What? Dude, you bitch. Oh my god. Okay. Okay. Just did it first try. Nice. Okay, got it. Oh my god, wow, I'm actually stupid. Just one. Now, here. Okay, let's just go up. Okay, remember, you want to go here first, and then go like that. This way, and then all to here, all the way across, go to here, go to here, middle, side, boom. Oh my god. I was right there, bro. Oh my god. Nice. Okay. Oh my god. Phantom pressing my D key, bro. Alright, we're on. Missed it. Okay. Covered. I blocked it! What? Boom. Whew. Oh my god, I'm the goat. Wait, that one I kinda understand, but like... I'm like, I messed that up and I still made it. Okay. Made it. Ugh. I think what happened is in practice mode, I got the part super slow. I did it, yeah. Did Finn leave?
Yeah.
Dude, I'm locked. I'm so locked. Oh, okay, that's a little bit of more difficult maneuver than what I was doing to go down. So I will have to, you know, get used to that.
You can look, you just mash here.
Joke. Actual fucking joke.
Bro.
Like, I passed the hard part of that click. It's over.
Dude. It's over. 8 hours, 49 minutes later.
That's such an anticlimactic ending. Because that level's not hard. 31,000 seconds. Oh my god. No! I'm not number one
Terras
on Friends.
beat this?
This is not the other. This is a different Terra than the.
Oh, I was about to say.
I'm not number one on Friends. No.
Dude.
20 on week, bro. Who's beating this in how many? Okay, hacked.
Yeah, those are cheated, bro.
Who is beating this in 11 minutes, bro? No. Yo, 10 seconds, bro.
Yeah, those are not legit, bro. I think the record is like 20 minutes.
Oh my god. Time to screenshot.
Dude, it's over.
It's over, dude. At everyone. It's
Yeah.
over.
Dude, some prodigy beat this in like 26 minutes.
You know, that wasn't too bad. Slarp. Just slarp.
Larp, 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 so who? Yo, don't go back to
That's
the
a
group
lot
chat,
of
bro.
attempts, bro.
Dude. Last night at 4 a.m., bro.
Yo, last night at 4 a.m. I was so
You
mad.
were done.
I was so done. Level 42. Okay. Level 43 is not as hard as people say it is. That is not the hardest part of the level. Level 42 was genuinely the most awful experience I've ever had. It's not necessarily difficult, it's just so long and you have to be like so precise for a solid 5 minutes in a row. Like, it's just so bad. 41 was like also pretty bad. 40 was pretty bad. Like, there were a lot of really bad ones. I might explain in the description which ones I think were the worst. But like, dude, everything after 42 was not bad. 49 took me 2 minutes. Like, some of the, like, the ones after 43 were just jokes compared to what I had to do in 42 and 41 and 40 and 43. But yeah. Alright, I'm gonna stop the recording now.